So now that we know how to make straight paths and curves paths and even change the direction of paths, let's go ahead and put it all to use. We're going to create the shape of a duck, and we're going to use all of these guides to help us create our path. We'll start here, kind of at the top of the head, and I will click and I will drag up in the direction of the direction line that we can see faded below. Then, in order to create this curve, I'll click on the second anchor point and start dragging down. Then we'll move down to the base of the neck, and I'll click and drag again. And then to go in the other direction, we need to click and drag up. But you'll notice if I drag all the way to the end of the template, I get way too big of a curve over here. So let me undo that. And instead, I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to pay attention not to the front direction line that I'm dragging, but actually to the back direction line. This one right here. So now when I release the cursor, you can see that I need to make a change to this direction line. So I'm going to hold down the Option key, and I'm going to click and drag this direction line. You can see that I've broken it so that only this side of the direction line is moving and not this back side. Now that direction line sets the direction for this curve, so I'll need to click over here and drag down. As I drag down, I'm paying attention to the direction line over here. But now, since I want to change direction, I'm going to need to break this. I hold down the Option or the Alt key, and this time I can either click on the anchor point, or we can click on the direction line and break it. Then I'll click and drag up in order to form that curve. Click and drag down to create that kind of sharp corner right there. And then click and drag over to the left quite a distance in order to create the curve there. Now I want a much steeper curve right here, so I'm going to click and just drag a little bit. Again, if I hold down the Shift key, that would actually make that a horizontal line. We'll click and drag up, and then click, and this time we're going to drag up as well to get kind of that S shape. But you can see if I click over here now, I'm not going to get the path I want. So I need to Command Z that to undo it. Hold down the Option key and split my direction lines. I'll pull this one down, and then we can click and drag here, clicking once again to create the beak, and then clicking one final time in order to close the path. Over in the Paths panel, we can see that we've created a work path. If we want to save this, we can either use the flyout menu and choose Save Path, or we can simply double-click on the work path, give it a name, and then click OK. So there you have it. With a little bit of practice, you'll be drawing great paths in no time.